Hi, welcome to Russ's Kitchen. I've got a recipe here that is absolutely brilliant for dinner parties. If you're cooking for family, friends, this is gorgeous. It's my recipe for chicken fricassee, or basically braised chicken, which means I'm going to be cooking my chicken in a stock which is going to keep it really moist, really flavoursome. Let's have a look at what we're going to need. Obviously, we're going to need our chicken. I'm using skin-on chicken breasts, which I've got from my butcher. When you do buy chicken breasts from the butcher, just make sure you run your hand underneath, because there might be little bits of bone that they've left when they've actually filleted it off. I've also got bacon lardons, brandy, and some chicken stock. And when we make the sauce, I'm going to need double cream and some Dijon mustard. So I've got my heavy based frying pan on quite a high heat. I'm going to go in with just a little drizzle of olive oil, not too much, and then I'm going to put my chicken breasts in, skin down to start off with. And at this stage I'm going to put the lid on, because this is going to start spitting like crazy. So there we've got some lovely colour, crispy skin. I'm going to take these out now and just put them on a plate. Now the next thing we're going to do is put our bacon lardons into this pan, still on quite a high heat. And again, what we're looking for is to get some really nice colour and maybe just a little bit of crispiness on these bacon lardons. So the bacon has now got some colour, a little bit of crispiness on it. The next thing we're going to do is go in with our brandy. Now, you can either put the brandy in and just boil the alcohol off, or if you want to do it, make it a little bit more of theatrical, you can actually flambe it, which is to set fire to it. Let's see what happens. But do be careful, because it will flare up. Look at that. Do that in front of your guests. Quite impressive. That's now going to burn off all the alcohol out of that brandy. What we're going to be left with is a gorgeous, burnt, smoky flavour. That's what we're looking for. That was quite fun. Now we're going to put the chicken back into the pan. And then, taking our chicken stock, we're going to put in enough to come up to about halfway up the size of the chicken. So, yeah, I think that'll do. I'm keeping a little bit of the stock back just in case we need to top it up a little bit later. I'm going to turn the heat down on this and just let it bubble away for about half an hour or so, until that chicken is cooked beautifully, and it's going to stay so moist because it's cooking in that stock. It's going to taste amazing. Our chicken is cooking away nicely. I'm going to be serving this with fondant potatoes. It's a beautiful, indulgent way to serve potatoes for a dish, and it really goes well with this. I've got my potatoes cut into about inch thicknesses, as you can see. You're probably going to need, I don't know, only about 3 per person. So they go into there. What I'm going to do is crumble a vegetable stock cube into the water, because we want to add layers of flavour, and this really does make a difference. So now what we want to do is parboil our potatoes. So I'm going to bring them to the boil and then just let them simmer for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. The potatoes have been brought to the boil and they've been simmering for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to turn the heat right down. I'm going to take these off, strain them, and then put them back onto the pan just to steam for another couple of minutes. Now our potatoes have been steaming for a couple of minutes. It's quite important that you do let them steam, because the outer edges are going to become nice and soft, which means that when we fry them, they're also going to become really lovely and crispy. I've got a heavy based frying pan on a medium to high heat. I'm going to go in with a couple of good knobs of butter. Also, on top of that, a good glug of olive oil. Now, the olive oil is going to help stop the butter from burning. I'm just turning that heat down just a little bit, and then we're going to go in with our potatoes. So now finally we're going to put in some rosemary and a couple of decently crushed cloves of garlic, just to make sure that we get some nice aroma from the garlic and the rosemary. That is going to be quite amazing. So our chicken has been cooking for about half an hour. I'm checking it on my meat thermometer. The core temperature we want to be at least 82 degrees centigrade, and it's definitely more than that. It feels really tender, it's cooked. So we're going to take our chicken out and put it onto a warmed plate. That we're going to pop into the oven. The stock that we've got left here, we're going to turn the heat right up and we're going to reduce it right down. Now it's very important when you actually use stock cubes or any kind of stock that you use reduced salt stock, because when this reduces down because of the bacon, it's going to intensify the salt that's actually left in the bacon. So let's turn this up. So our stock is now reduced right down. I'm turning the heat off and you can see it's become really thick and creamy. I'm going to go in with a couple of teaspoons of Dijon mustard, a little bit of cream, double cream, and I'm going to stir that round. If you need to add any more cream at this stage, then you just do so. But that's looking really, really lovely. One last thing, just a little tiny bit of black pepper. Stir that in. And we're ready to plate up. So gorgeous fondant potatoes, beautifully cooked chicken breast, finishing it off with this absolutely wonderful sauce. Beautiful fricassee chicken.